The moment I sensed that our dream vacation would twist into a nightmare, I hadn't even stepped into the resort yet. It was supposed to be paradise, a week of peace, just the two of us away from the noise of everyday life. We were newly married, barely 3 months in, still floating in that golden haze where everything feels untouchable. She was laughing, radiant, adjusting her sun hat as we walked through the humid air. I remember thinking how lucky I was. I had no idea that within minutes, everything would change. It began subtly. A car lingered behind us at the airport, but I brushed it off as coincidence. That illusion shattered when a man emerged from the crowd, grabbed her, and pulled her into the shadows while the world around us carried on. Tourists smiling, music echoing, no one noticing. My instincts didn't whisper. They roared. I didn't run blindly. I didn't shout. I watched. I memorized. Every direction they took, every possible exit, I locked it into memory. They thought they'd taken an unsuspecting husband, someone helpless, someone who'd panic and plead. They couldn't have been more wrong. I heard her muffled voice, faint but enough to light something cold inside me. The one they called El Toro had no idea who he was dealing with. He didn't know what kind of man stands behind calm eyes. Every second they spent moving her, I tracked them. Every decision they made, I anticipated. My world had just shifted, but I didn't break. Fear had no place inside me. They thought they were hunters. They hadn't realized they had just cornered the wrong prey. When the sun slipped below the horizon, the streets fell quiet. I had already built a plan in my mind. Every route, every guard rotation, every flaw they hadn't noticed. I moved when darkness fell, silent as breath, unseen. Years of discipline sharpened my every sense. The men guarding her laughed, careless, certain of their control. Confidence makes people blind. The warehouse stood on the edge of town, an ugly structure of steel and shadows. Cameras, locks, armed men, a setup meant to frighten. But fear doesn't touch those who have mastered it. Through a narrow gap, I studied them, patterns, movement, timing. The air reeked of oil and sweat. I could smell danger. I could taste it. Then I saw her, just for a heartbeat, eyes wide, terrified. But when she recognized me, something shifted. Relief, hope. I didn't need to speak. She didn't need words. She knew what came next. El Toro stepped out then, broad shoulders, a smug grin, arrogance dripping from every move. He thought he was putting on a show. He thought I was the audience. What he didn't know was that I'd already rewritten the ending. The first move wasn't loud. It never is. Chaos only works when you let it build. I let him believe he was in control. Let his pride blind him. He smirked, spoke words I didn't hear. My focus was absolute. I could hear the guards' shifting feet, sense the rhythm of their breaths. The moment his guard dropped, everything unfolded in perfect silence. The Reaper doesn't announce himself. They froze when I struck. One by one, their confidence vanished, replaced by the kind of fear that comes too late. The fight ended before it began. El Toro's expression twisted from amusement to disbelief, then pain. He tried to speak, but I had no interest in hearing him. My actions were precise, measured, unstoppable. Minutes later, the warehouse was silent except for the soft hum of the lights. She stood still, trembling but alive. Her eyes found mine not in fear, but in recognition. She finally saw what I kept hidden behind calm words and steady hands. We left the way I came in, quietly, unnoticed. The streets were still. The city kept moving as if nothing had happened. Back at the hotel, she gripped my hand tightly, her pulse still racing. I could feel her staring at me, trying to reconcile the man she married with the one who had just torn through hell to get her back. That trip was supposed to be a celebration of love. Instead, it became proof of something far greater. Control is power, and patience is a weapon. Fear fades, but precision endures. She learned that night what I already knew. Sometimes the calmest person in the room is the most dangerous. And as we walked through the empty hallway toward our room, she finally understood, I am not a man you can take from, threaten, or break. I am the storm that waits in silence, and when I move, nothing stands in my way.